Welcome to chemistry class, dear students. Today we will continue first chapter from page number 9 with topic apparatus used in chemistry laboratory. So the very first apparatus used in chemistry laboratory is test tube. This test tube is made up of glass and is used to heat small quantities of liquid. Used to heat small quantities of liquid in laboratory, or used to mix different liquids in chemistry laboratory. So here we will take one precaution while using this test tube. Note, while heating liquids in a test tube, keep the mouth of the test tube away from your face. So this is the precaution we will take during the use of this test tube. Second apparatus is test tube stand. This is test tube stand, and test tube stand is used to keep number of test tubes together. This test tube stand is either made up of plastic or of wooden. So, test tube stand is a wooden or a plastic stand. It has holes and pegs. So, in this test tube stand, we have holes and pegs. So, these holes are used to hold several test tubes, and pegs are used to place the washed test tube for the water to drain out. So, here we have number of holes, and these holes are used to hold number of test tubes in this test tube stand. And here we have pegs. These pegs are used to place the washed test tube for the water to drain out. Next apparatus is beaker. Beaker is also made up of glass. This is a beaker, and this beaker is also made up of glass. So that's why it is called as glass container. So it is used for holding or measuring small quantities of liquids. So we will hold small quantity of liquid in this beaker, or we will measure small quantity of liquid in this beaker. So here you will see that we have a numbering 50, 100, 150 and 200. So this beaker is used for measuring small quantities of liquids. Next apparatus is flask. Flask is also made up of glass and is known as glass container. So this flask is used to store or heat liquid substances. This flask is also used to store or heat liquid substances. Flask may be flat bottom. Flasks are of two types, mainly of two types: flat bottom with flat bottom and with round bottom. So flask may be with flat bottom or maybe with round bottom. Here you can see we have flask with flat bottom. Bottom of this flask is flat. So similarly we have a flask with round bottom. So bottom of this flask is round. Now this flat bottom flask is used to store liquids, and round bottom flask is used for heating liquids. Another type of flask, we have a conical flask. This flask is known as conical flask and is used for mixing of different solutions. This flask is used to store different liquids, and round bottom flask is used for heating liquids. Conical flask is used for mixing different solutions. Next is tripod stand. Tripod stand is made up of iron. This is tripod stand and it is made up of iron. This tripod stand is similar to that of stand on a gas used in our kitchens. So this tripod stand is made up of iron and is used for supporting a glass apparatus while heating liquids and solid on them. So while heating liquid on gas, this tripod stand is used just as a support for the another apparatus. This is wire gauge. It is made up of a wire of iron, and this wire gauge is often used on a tripod stand while heating substances. It helps to spread the flame uniformly. So main function of wire gauge is it helps to spread the flame uniformly. So what we do, we just place this wire gauge over this tripod stand, and then we place any apparatus, like we place beaker with liquid upon this wire gauge, and from this side we will heat our liquid. So this wire gauge is used in heating, we can say. Next apparatus is funnel. Funnel is made up of glass or of plastic. This is funnel. From this side it is round, so from this side it is narrow, and this funnel is made up of glass or of plastic. And main use of the funnel is filtering liquids, used for filtering liquids and pouring liquids from one vessel to another vessel. Next is filter paper. Filter paper is similar to that of blotting paper. This is filter paper, and in this filter paper we have a tiny holes. Inside this filter paper we have a tiny holes like this. So it contains tiny pores to allow water to pass through them. So these tiny holes or tiny pores, we can say, allow water to pass through them. But these pores do not allow particles of insoluble substances to go through them. So this is filter paper, and in this filter paper we have a tiny pores, or we can say tiny holes. And these tiny holes allow water to pass through them and do not allow particles of insoluble substances to go through them. So that's why this filter paper is used in filtration process, or used for filtering liquids. Now here we have tongs of different shapes and different size, and these tongs are made up of steel or of iron, and they are used to hold hot apparatus. These tongs are used to hold hot apparatus. From this side we will hold this tong in our hand, and from this side we will hold our hot apparatus. Next apparatus is retort. Retort is a glass apparatus. This is retort, and this retort is also made up of glass. And main use of retort is used in distillation processes. So what are distillation processes? Distillation processes are the processes of purification of liquid by heating as well as by cooling. So this retort is used in distillation experiments. Next apparatus is china dish. This is china dish. This china dish is just like a bowl we use to eat food. So but difference is this china dish is made up of porcelain material. So china dish is made up of porcelain material and is known as porcelain dish, and is used to heat and evaporate liquid substances. So we will use this china dish to heat or to evaporate liquid substances in chemistry laboratory. Here we have delivery tubes of different shapes. So delivery tubes are thin hollow glass tubes. These tubes are made up of glass and they are hollow tubes. So are thin hollow tubes of different shapes, and they are used to pass gases from one container to another container. Delivery tubes are used to deliver, we can say, or used to pass gas from one container to another container. Here we have gas jar This gas jar is long cylindrical jar, a jar of cylindrical shape, and is used to collect gases. So this gas jar is used to collect different gases. This is glass rod made up of glass. These are the rods made up of glass, and these rods are used to stir liquids, or we can say glass rods are used to mix solid substances in liquid. Next apparatus is trough. Trough is a glass bowl shaped or rectangular container which is used to hold liquids. So this is trough, and trough is used to hold a large amount of liquids, and it is of either rectangular shape or of shape like bowl. Next is pipette. Pipette is tube open at both ends. So this is pipette, and it is opened from both ends. One end is tapered. Tapered means one end is less in thickness. So this end is tapered, and it is used to transfer small quantity of liquid from one container to another container. This pipette is used to transfer small quantities of liquids. Capillary tubes are also made up of glass having holes on both sides. So, or we can say opened from both sides. So this capillary tube is narrow tube made up of glass and used to transfer counted drops of liquids. Underline, used to transfer counted drops of liquids from one container to another container. Next is Distal Funnel. Distal funnel is long glass tube with a broad inlet at the top. So this is Distal funnel with long glass tube, but broad inlet at the top, and it is used to allow entry of reactants into a flask. It is different from a funnel because its neck is longer and thinner than that of funnel. So this Distal funnel is used to allow entry of reactants into the funnel while carrying out different chemical reactions. Next is measuring cylinder. This is measuring cylinder with numbering 20, 30, 40 up to 100 ml. So main capacity of this measuring cylinder is 100 ml. And this cylinder is made up of glass or maybe made up of plastic, and these cylinders are used to measure volumes of liquids. Now while using this measuring cylinder, we will take one precaution, and it will be to get an accurate reading of the volume of the cylinder. It needs to be held at the eye level. So while measuring liquid in the cylinder, we should keep this cylinder near to our eye level. This is thermometer, and we all know that thermometer is used to measure temperature. So thermometer is used to measure the temperature of a body. It is made up of glass and has marking like this -10, 0, 10, 20. And we have laboratory thermometers and clinical thermometers. We all know that a clinical thermometer is much smaller and is used to measure the temperature of the human body. Now, these laboratory thermometers are used to measure temperature of different liquids in laboratories. Next is Bunsen burner. Bunsen burner is used to heat different substances in chemistry laboratory, and it is connected to gas supply. So it consists of three parts main: the base, the burner tube, and the air regulator. So here we have a base of this Bunsen burner, then air regulator. From this point we can change the amount of air accordingly, and third part is burner tube. So this is the burner tube, this is air regulator, and this one is the base of Bunsen burner. And Bunsen burner is used to heat different substances in laboratory. Next apparatus is spirit lamp. Spirit lamp is made up of glass or of metallic base, and inside this we have a spirit. So along with spirit we also have a wick. So this spirit lamp is used for heating substances on a tripod stand. That is, upon this spirit lamp we will place tripod stand. This tripod stand we will place on that spirit lamp, and above this tripod stand we will place wire gauge, and then we place our container containing liquid. Next is watch glass, and watch glass is used to evaporate a liquid from its solution or to keep chemicals for use during experiment. So whatever we want to use during our experiment, we will keep that chemical in this watch glass. Next apparatus is beehive shelf. This beehive shelf is made up of clay, so known as a clay vessel, and is used for collecting gases by downward displacement of water. For collection of gases we use beehive shelf, and the principle is downward displacement of water. These are the clamp stands, and clamp stands are used to hold flask and other equipment firmly during experiments. So during experiments we hold different apparatus in these clamp stands. This is spatula, just like a spoon, and so it is used to transfer solids from one container to another container. So a spatula is a spoon made up of glass or of metal, and it is used for transferring solids from one container to another container. So this is all about the different apparatuses used in chemistry laboratory. Next topic is safety rules in chemistry laboratory. So here we have a few rules that you have to follow while working in chemistry laboratory. Very first rule is follow all written and verbal instructions carefully. So whatever instructions are given to you or whatever written in chemistry laboratory, you have to follow all that instructions. Second, never work alone in the laboratory. Next, always wear a lab coat, goggles and gloves in the laboratory. Next, when first entering a science room, do not touch any equipment, chemical or materials in the laboratory area until you are instructed to do so. Perform only those experiments given by your teacher. Don't do anything by yourself. Next, do not eat food, drink beverages or chew gums in the laboratory. Be alert and proceed with caution at all times in the laboratory. Notify the teacher immediately of any unsafe condition you observe. So if you observe any unsafe condition, immediately concern your teacher. Never taste or inhale odorous chemicals or solutions without the permission or without the instruction of your teacher. Keep your hands away from your eyes, face, mouth and body while using chemicals or while using lab equipments. Wash your hands with soap and water after performing experiment. So wash your hand after doing experiments. Long hair must be tied back. Report any accident or injury to the teacher immediately. Do not be panic. So if you are observing that there is any accident or you have any injury, then immediately concern your teacher. If a chemical were to get splashed on your eyes or on your skin, immediately flush with running water for at least 20 minutes. Never return unused chemicals to their original container. Do not immerse hot glassware in cold water. The glassware may shatter. Do not place hot apparatus directly on the laboratory desk. Always use an insulated pad. Allow plenty of time for hot apparatus to cool before it is touched. So don't touch hot apparatus directly. For that purpose, you have to use tongs.